Hi, you guys. So yesterday I noticed there's a lot of back and forth between Toya and her family, in particular her siblings, more so the two brothers, Casey and Walter. And then I noticed that Walter posted that he was going to have a Bible study today. And he is actually having his Bible study. I would put a little bit on there, but I think he's probably going to upload it because he definitely is reading. And I think that he's just trying to read Toya with these scriptures because he's talking about humbling yourself. And so it sounds like some of this he's directing to her, right? Just that's just the way it sounds. And then his daughter is too cute. She kind of gives us a little side eye when he starts saying certain things. But he also speaks very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, because he was talking about his mother's situation, and I thought it was just a little too raw. That's too raw, like for a Bible study, okay? But I understand, like guys, but they're a lot of them they so used to saying certain things that they kind of forget that because it looked like it was a bunch of women in there listening to him anyway. And so sometimes people don't know how to read the room either. But yeah, I thought some of the stuff he was saying was a little too raw. Even for him saying that in front of his daughter, I thought it was too raw. But that's just my opinion on the outside looking in. And some people feel like they're speaking to their children from a real place. So, everybody's parenting is different, and there is no right or wrong in that. I'm just saying it just felt a little too raw, some of the stuff he was talking about. And I don't know if he's talking like that on the show or not, child. But yeah, so I'm not really watching the show. I want to go back and watch the episodes. So this season, now I was watching these interviews that they were doing with Carlos King. And Carlos is being messy. And I do agree with Walter when he was saying that she needs to stop doing the whole Lil Wayne stuff. Because she's married. I agree with him, and it kind of brings up that whole Stephen A. Smith thing when he was saying about Serena, like Serena shouldn't be getting involved in anything about her ex but Serena never said that, and that's the difference. Serena never said that that's why she was there. She's also from Compton, just like Kendrick, so that's why she was there. That was her real pulling in L.A., right? Because that song is really it is just that song, the beat and all of that. That's very much a West Coast song. And so that's what her tie-in was. But people were trying to be messy with the whole Drake thing. And she never said that. And I feel like Carlos was being, and this is just my opinion, was being slightly messy. But I keep bringing up Lil Wayne. Like, I do feel like she shouldn't talk about him as much as she do, especially as much as she was in that interview. And this is just my opinion. And sometimes people don't know how to tell their so-called friends, let's not do the whole Lil Wayne thing tonight, right? Because I feel like she could have toned the Lil Wayne conversation down. Because she made that statement about if she wanted to be that girl that was out here just sitting around collecting money from her baby daddy, she could have been that girl. And that's what she meant, right? And I don't even know if she necessarily meant Lil Wayne. She could have been talking about getting with some of these other celebrities and doing that. If she wanted to take that route, is what she was saying. But then she said, I'm not that girl. I want to be, I'm a wife. However, just the fact that you're going to put that out there, Carlos and whoever else, child, these blogs, they're gonna cut that little part out and they're gonna run with it, right? And it was just that. I think it is slightly disrespectful to her husband. So I do agree with the brother about that, but I don't totally blame her because I felt like Carlos was kind of leading those conversations. But how do y'all feel about it? Do you feel like that was too much talking about him, Lil Wayne? And people, I can understand people bringing it up to Reginae because that's her dad, right? And she has a relationship with him. But and Toya has a relationship with him as well, but I just feel like you are somebody's wife and you almost forget that because of the way, especially the way that conversation was going. It was just too many questions, I guess I should put it that way, about him for this lady to be married. So I do agree with the brother about that. And then, of course, her husband came out defending her, though, about the $1 million, which led me to understand is that they don't know how much Toya make, right? If they're saying they're just throwing a figure out there, and that means maybe they don't know what she's making, and maybe that's where the problem is coming in. Because they are a part of the show, they should at least know what she is getting so they won't feel a certain way about whatever she's giving them. Because clearly she's the one negotiating for that show, and then she's just giving them whatever, she feels is fair for them being a part of it. And like she said, they don't have to do it. But at the same time, they should know what they're involved in and if they're being treated fairly. I think that's fair too for them to say that. They just want to know, is this fair what we're getting? And next season, maybe they can negotiate for more. Because a lot of people are in comments like they should get a lawyer. You guys are family, but at the same time, that show is a business, right? But then, maybe she decided to go in a whole different direction next season. Who's to say? Because the show is Toya and Reginae, and obviously they're classified as a celebrity, so obviously they would get more money than them. But I feel like what the siblings are saying, they don't know how much more she's getting from them. And they don't know if they're being treated, if they are fairly. I think that's what they're saying. And that's why I'm saying maybe she should just tell them what she's making. That way they will feel better about whatever it is that they are getting. You guys understand what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about that? Because it kind of reminded me of the whole Neffy Frankie story, right, with Keisha Cole, because the family came in and they kind of became the show, right? People were more into talking about Frankie. She became a whole phenomenon out here talking about Frankie and Neffy instead of talking and worried about Keisha. And then Keisha didn't want to get involved in all that stuff anyway because she's trying to have a music career. And so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do need to get a lawyer, like people were saying in the comments, or a manager, just so that person is in talks as well. And I feel like that's fair. They have a right to say that if they all over the show, and they're in every scene, right? Because they got to have somebody to have these arguments with, right? I'm speaking of Reginae and Toya. They got to have somebody to play off of to even make the show worth watching. So it is fair that the family get paid, compensated. Let me know what y'all think about the whole conversation, and how did you feel about what Walter was saying about the whole bringing up Lil Wayne all the time, and just that whole conversation. Because I was kind of like, this is not cool because she's married. It's not cool that she's talking about Lil Wayne. You were way on to somebody else, and you even have a child with this man. So I don't know, but that's just my feeling, and everybody is different. But what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. And what do you think about Walter's Bible study? If you caught any of it, he was over there talking about people humbling themselves. And another thing that Toya said in that interview that kind of stood out to me is how she said she asked her mother, what are they doing for you? Everything is not about money. So I do agree with the family about that as well. Everything's not about money. Sometimes, just knowing your son calling you every day and checking in with you, making sure you're okay, right? Coming over and helping you out with things. Everything is not about like some lavish thing that you buy in. Sometimes it's just the time that people can appreciate, having somebody to talk to and vent to. And so if her son is that for her, then that's probably why they're that close. Because she definitely sound a little bit jealous of whichever son she's talking about that the mother have this close relationship to. I think it's Walter. Yeah, I just from the outside looking in, and with me not watching the show, I felt like she sound jealous of that relationship. But everything is not about money and what you buying, folks. Yeah, you have the ability to give them things that they probably can't give themselves. However, people also need companionship. They also need people that they feel are loyal to them and that they can talk to without people, talking, wagging their finger at them. So, everything is not just about what you can go out and buy somebody. So, yeah, I kind of see, like I said, I see both sides. I see what the family is saying, and I kind of see what she's saying in some of the situations as well. Like, they could have approached her a little different about the money situation. They didn't have to put that on the internet like that. But let me know what y'all think in the comments about all of it. If you guys are watching her show, if you're watching the show, if you watch the interviews with Carlos King as well, let me know how y'all felt about how Carlos was bringing the Lil Wayne situation in. And yeah, it's one thing you bring Lil Wayne up as far as a father, his ability to still take care of his responsibilities where Reginae was concerned, even though Reginae is an adult. And there's really no reason for Lil Wayne to even be coming up to Toya, if you guys get what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments. I know he was coming up with the brothers because I felt like they were at one time. I know they thought that he should help them out a little more with their career or whatever, as far as trying to get. But the industry is not what it used to be, and people really need to understand that too. Is that part? But let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.